Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Wednesday, April 7th. We're going to be talking some NBA DFS picks today for both FanDuel and DraftKings. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and kind of see how they turned out. So, over on the DraftKings side, we did have Dennis Schroeder at point guard, $6,900, looking for 35 points out of him. Seemed like a pretty safe bet overall. He hit that in 5 of the last 6 games. Got to 31, so he was a miss, but probably not a miss that killed you too bad overall. Then at shooting guard, we had Karis LeVert, $7,200, looking for 36 points out of him. Got to 38, so he was a hit. Small forward, DeAndre Bembry, $3,000, flat minimum, 31.25 points. So he was a massive hit, 10 times value there. Then we have my boy, Kyle Anderson, or he's been my boy lately at least, $5,400. 27 points is what we're looking for out of him. He got to 40.5, so he was a big hit as well. And then last but not least, Nikola Jokic, $10,600, looking for 53 points out of him. He got to 58.5, so he was a hit as well. So pretty solid day overall on that DraftKings side. Then on the FanDuel side, not quite as pretty, but we had TJ McConnell at the point guard position, $5,600, looking for 28 points out of him. You know, Malcolm Brogdon did get ruled out. TJ McConnell's played pretty well this season. Just didn't quite have it last night. Got to 19.3, so he was a miss. Grayson Allen, one of my favorite early plays on the day. Looked like he was pretty safe. Didn't end up that way, even with all the other guys being ruled out for the Grizzlies. $4,700, looking for about 24 points out of him. Got to 13.7, so he was a miss. Yeah, small forward, we had Kyle Anderson, $5,900, looking for 30 points out of him. Got to 38.6, so he was a hit. Then at power forward, Jeremy Grant, $6,400, looking for 32 points out of him. Got 40 points in that revenge game last night, so he was a hit. And then last but not least, we had Enes Kanter, $5,800, looking for 29 points out of him, and he got to 36.5, so he was a hit. So pretty good day overall. DraftKings side was a little bit better than the FanDuel side, but can't complain too much regardless. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to today's injuries. We'll start off with the Timberwolves and the Pacers. Jalen Noel and Beasley are both out for the Timberwolves. And then D'Angelo Russell, game time decision, likely to play. Then for the Pacers, obviously we were looking at pretty much the same guys as yesterday. Malcolm Brogdon, Domantas Sabonis. We'll see if they end up playing or not. I would say Brogdon's probably the more likely one to play. Turner did get hurt as well last night, so if he doesn't play, they might have to start Goga tonight, and if he's starting, you can definitely play him. Shouldn't be too expensive on either site. Then for the Washington Wizards, got Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, Robin Lopez, all game time decisions. I don't think Hachimura plays. Beal just really up in the air at this point in time. Robin Lopez, if he doesn't play, Alex Len's going to have to play a lot of center minutes because they're already down Daniel Gafford as well. Then for the Orlando Magic, we got Michael Carter-Williams, Khem Birch, and Cole Anthony, all game time decisions. We'll see if Cole Anthony finally gets back today. For him, I love it, but for DFS, I don't really love it because it kind of eats into some of that RJ Hampton value. If he doesn't play, if Michael Carter-Williams doesn't play, if RJ Hampton's in the starting lineup again, I think he's definitely in play once again today. Gary Harris, Kareem Maine, and Otto Porter Jr. all out once again. Then for the New York Knicks, we got Mitchell Robinson still out. John Henson, who they just recently signed, is a game time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. Even if he does play, I don't think he's really going to play enough minutes to matter. Then for the Boston Celtics, Evan Fournier is out once again. Tristan Thompson is now a game time decision. We'll see if he's back today or not. We're going to move down to the New Orleans Pelicans. Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker are both out. Both of these guys are supposed to miss a couple weeks now, so just keep on ruling them out for a while now. Kira Lewis, doubtful to play. Then Jackson Hayes, Brandon Ingram, both game time decisions. We'll see if they play or not. Obviously, we got Zion Williamson back last night, so he's definitely somebody that you can play today. For the Brooklyn Nets, looks like Kevin Durant might finally be back. Just keep an eye out on that one throughout the day. James Harden, Tyler Johnson, Landry Shamet all out once again. Then we move over to the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, Brandon Clark, both game time decisions, likely to play though. And then Jaren Jackson, DeAndre Melton, and Justice Winslow are all out once again. For the Atlanta Hawks, pretty much just the same guys out that have been out for a while now. John Collins, Chris Dunn, DeAndre Hunter, and Cam Reddish. Then we move over to Dallas Mavericks. Willie Cauley-Stein, J.J. Redick, and Terry are all out once again. Kristaps Porzingis, Trey Burke, and Maxi Kleber all game time decisions. Obviously, Trey Burke and Porzingis missed the last time out. Kleber is a new one here. If Kleber and Porzingis don't play, you're going to have Probably a little bit smaller lineup. Maybe Dorian Finney-Smith looks a little bit better. Maybe Melly looks a little bit better again. Maybe we get some Boban tonight. For the Houston Rockets, John Wall is a true game-time decision now. Looks like he's questionable to play. Avery Bradley, game-time decision. Dalton Jeffries, game-time decision as well. Brooks, Exum, Gordon, House, and Nwaba are all out still. And that is not Aaron Brooks. It's actually like Armani Brooks. So got that one wrong the other day. I thought it'd be kind of weird to see Aaron Brooks playing anyways, but that explains a lot. Then for the Charlotte Hornets, we got LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, and Malik Monk all out once again. Same as the last time out, I do believe, for their team. Looking at Miles Bridges being a good value play here today. Then we move over to Oklahoma City Thunder. Baisley, Dort, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Hall, Muscala, and Roby all still out once again. So pretty much the same lineup as we saw the last time out. Move over to Spurs. DeJounte Murray's game time decision. He did miss last night. Then we have Bates Diop, Trey Lyles, and Lonnie Walker all still out once again. Jamal Murray, they do have listed as out. I think he's a game time decision, but sometimes this doesn't update right away in the morning. Monitored his status throughout the day. His knee's been kind of bugging him lately, so we'll see if he ends up playing or not. Utah Jazz, exactly the same as the last time out. And then the Suns just have Nader out, so it looks like Frank Kaminsky will be back today. But that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at the point guard position, we got Monty Morris. $3,700. He recently came back looking for about 18, 19 points out of him, averaging about 20.5 on the season. Jamal Murray doesn't play in this game. He is that de facto point guard. He's going to be playing a lot of minutes, going to have some value there. Definitely saw it last night. At shooting guard, we're going to go with his teammate, Will Barton. He's been playing out of his mind lately. $5,400, looking for 27 points out of him. Definitely gives you a chance to get that tonight. And then at small forward, we're going to move over to Miles Bridges, who I kind of talked about a little bit with the injuries. Going to be probably in that starting lineup. $5,000, looking for 25 points out of him, averaging almost 23 on the season. And most of those games he did not start, so definitely should see a little bit of an uptick in minutes and production today. Then at power forward, we're going right back to Kyle Anderson. Price only went up $100. $5,500, looking for 27, 28 points out of him, averaging almost 29 on the season now. Been playing very well lately. There's no reason not to play him tonight. And then last but not least, we got Wendell Carter Jr., $6,000, looking for about 30 points out of him. Been playing pretty well lately. Like I said with the Washington Wizards, their centers aren't that good to start with, and Robin Lopez might not play this game. So you might just be seeing a lot of Alex Len. Maybe somebody else is going to have to slide over his center. Maybe Davis Bertans. It doesn't sound pretty at all, but we'll just see what happens there. Especially if Robin Lopez is out, I think it's definitely a matchup that Wendell Carter Jr. can take advantage of, and you're not going to hear me say that too often. But if you go with these 5 players over on DraftKings, you have $24,400 left over, just over $8,100 per player, so definitely some room to pay up for some good players, some studs, and then kind of fill in with some value elsewhere as well. And with that being said, we'll get moving over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So you guys know I don't like to double dip, but Monty Morris is just looking too good today, especially if Jamal Murray does not play. $3,800, looking for 19 points out of him, averaging over 20 on this season. Pretty much the same thing I said on DraftKings. If he's that starting de facto point guard once again, definitely going to have a lot of value today. Then also at $3,800 at shooting guard, we have Sheev Mikhailuk. He's one of my favorites because he is a former Kansas Jayhawk. Their lineup's pretty much the same as it was the other day. Should be still getting the minutes. As long as his shots going down, he's definitely going to be worth that $3,800 price tag today. You're really only looking for 19, 20 points out of him. And he gives you an upside for a little bit more if his shot's going down. Then at small forward, we're going to go to Denny Advia. $4,300. Really hasn't been the greatest guy on the season overall. But he's playing pretty good minutes. Since Rui Hachimura has not been in the lineup, his rebounds have gone up. And that's given him a little bit more fantasy production. You're only looking for 21, 22 points out of him. I think he definitely has the possibility to give you that tonight, especially going against a pretty good matchup against the Orlando Magic. Then we move down to his teammate at power forward, and it's Davis Bertans. $3,700. We saw last game he got 30 fantasy points. You're only looking for about 18, 19 out of him here today. That's pretty much what he's averaging on the season. Same good Orlando matchup. He's going to be playing minutes, especially if Rui Hachimura is not out there tonight, which I don't think is going to happen. So they're going to need him to play a lot of minutes. He's going to take some shots. If his shot's going down, he's definitely going to be a key anchor in your lineup today. Then last but not least, Paying up for Nikola Jokic seems way too easy today. $10,200, looking for 51 points out of him, averaging 55 on the season. San Antonio, Jakob Poeltl's not the best matchup for him, but it's definitely not the worst either. So he should definitely be able to have his way with him. If Jamal Murray is not playing once again today, it only helps Nikola Jokic out even more. But if you go with these 5 players over on FanDuel today, you'll have $34,200 left over, just over $8,500 per player. So definitely a lot of room to spend up for some guys, spend down for some value picks throughout the day. Definitely gives you a lot of flexibility as you guys start your lineups for tonight. But with that being said, these are my picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for today, April 7th. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then as always, I'll be listing all the news and starting lineups down in the comments below. Just make sure you're checking that out throughout the day because it's going to have everything you need to be successful tonight. And then as always, just a reminder that I do post my updated DraftKings and FanDuel lineups down there as well. Typically like to do it about 40 minutes before lock. Sometimes it's a half hour. Just kind of depends on how the news is coming out, especially before locks with some of these injuries as well. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news this offseason. And like I said, as we move into draft season, NFL draft, after the draft, I'm going to be doing a lot of talk regarding that. I've done a lot of research in this year's draft class, and I'm really, truly very excited to share that with you. I'll be making some of those videos coming out in the coming days. And then last but not least, going to be talking a little bit of fantasy baseball and some baseball news as well. Obviously, we did get that news yesterday. Fernando Tatis Jr. does have that partial tear in his labrum, so he's probably going to be out for a while now. And with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this, and then going to be dropping some of that fantasy football and fantasy baseball content in the coming days. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.